Let's talk about Madeira, an island with amazing weather, stunning beaches, and the hometown of football's greatest ever player. Sorry, Lionel. But when you look past all the sand and pastel de natas, this island, 320 miles from the coast of Africa, hides a truly amazing engineering wonder. And if you've ever been to Madeira, you've most likely seen it. Well, except maybe if you took a rowing boat to the island. Can you guess what it is yet? Yes, it's that place where the planes come and go, the aptly named Cristiano Ronaldo International Airport, and this video will tell you what's so special about it. Our story starts off in the mid-20th century, and the island of Madeira was getting increasingly itchy to increase the number of visitors to the island and open up to trade with the world and its motherland, Portugal, which at the time was all rather difficult, as the only way to get to the island was by boat. So, in 1964, Madeira opened its own airport, with the island not being renowned for having ample amounts of flat land to site a runway. It was always going to be a tricky job to fit one in somewhere. A site for a runway, 1600 metres in length, was found nonetheless, with mountains on one side and the Atlantic Ocean on the other. It wasn't ideal, but it would do the job, and from then on would be ever immortalised on the lists of most extreme airports and difficult landings for pilots to make. As the decades went by, the island would get increasingly popular with overseas visitors, and coupled with a devastating accident in 1977, it was decided to extend the runway a further 200 metres, opening in 1986. However, the impact of this extension was short-lived. With the ever-increasing demand, it was decided that no more quick fixes would do, and a future-proof solution would have to be found. The answer was to extend the runway by nearly a kilometre to a total length of 2,781 metres to be in line with runways at most other airports. However, as you can probably see, with the existing runway built right next to steep cliffs and ocean, there wasn't any more land available for the runway to be extended on, nor would it be possible to create additional space via landfill. Another option would have to be found. The solution would be to support the new section of runway on 180 concrete pillars, each being approximately 70 metres in height. To help transfer the loading into the ground, these pillars would have pile foundations which went 18 metres below ground, firmly anchoring them into the bedrock. This was the case as aeroplanes, potentially weighing hundreds of tons, would hit the ground at over 100 miles per hour, creating forces which would be the equivalent of an explosion in conventional building design, so had to be up to the job to take the huge loads. The runway extension was to be built in two stages. The first stage would be a 546 metre long bridge, with the second being 462 metres, continuing to rest on the cliffs nearby. Both extensions were separated by an expansion joint, which means they act independently of each other, which is useful for when the structure is likely to move during changes in temperature, and the extents of the extensions can be seen on views of the runway above. Finally, to ensure the extension could be aligned to the correct position, the old runway would have to be turned by 3 degrees so both parts could be lined up correctly. The extended runway was completed in 2002 and would allow the airport to cater for even larger aircraft such as the Boeing 747 and the Airbus A330. As you can probably see, with there being a lot of open space underneath the runway, they have managed to put it to good use, with car parking, a highway and even tennis courts being squeezed in between the columns below, which you can see all for yourself on Google Street View, allowing you a virtual drive underneath the runway, gawping at all the marvellous engineering lurking underneath at your own leisure. The achievement of Madeira's airport runway extension was so great that it would be awarded the Outstanding Structure Award by the International Association for Bridges and Structural Engineering in 2004, basically the Oscars for structures and the like. And that just about ends this whistle-stop tour of Madeira Airport, an island with seemingly difficult terrain, but with the perseverance and ingenuity of engineers allowed them to do the impossible, and who knows, maybe the world of football wouldn't have been blessed with a certain Portuguese player without it. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and consider subscribing, and join us as we continue to tell the stories behind the world's greatest achievements, one wonder at a time. This has been a civil conversation, and I will see you in the next video.